Why does Channing look so banged up?
You want to know why? Because the Cavs were in town last night.
Were they? Oh, okay.
Dude, it felt so good, right? Like to see Dan and Kevin and Jetty and like to see all them. Like
Steve-O.
Richard, we got to take a time. We got to off air. We got to find a time to go back to Cleveland and just enjoy it for a day.
Well,
like it felt so good.
Yeah,
to see everybody.
Did you guys just do that All-Star Weekend last
year? I was there All-Star Weekend. I had a good time. I ran.
I was too. I had a great time.
I had a great time. We all know you had a great time. We all know. We can tell you.
To go back, the team is good. Yeah, dude, just seeing them, like, because obviously I'm out here in Portland. I have my own friends. I always forget that part of I don't forget, but I'm not reminded of like that part of my life until like the whole team came over. It was like Channing, and I'm like, oh, I miss you
guys. We were out, no lie. So we were out Friday night, All-Star Weekend, me and Channing. So we were just sitting against the wall, just like minding our own business, hammered. But I knew that Steve was coming. So Steve, the trainer from the Cavs, Steve comes in, and I like hug him. I'm like cracking jokes with him, and I then point to Channing. Now Steve has a beard now, so Channing just looks at him, and then like keeps looking at him, and then he smiles, and Channing's like, "Oh my god!" And then Channing just like bear hugs him, like starts squeezing him like he's a little toy. And it's just like, and then Channing just like wouldn't shut up, laughing and joking with them for the next 20 minutes. But yeah, no, like people don't understand that, like that championship crew, it wasn't just the players, like the training staff. That so many of them that
coaches,
are like coaches,
D Mills, like fucking with D Mill Jr.
Oh, D Mill
Jr.
Yo, but
he's actually his name is Derek Millender Jr. So, but I'm the only one that ever called him Jr. So he goes, nobody calls me that. I go, I call you that. I'm gonna call you what your mama call you, and your mama call you Junior.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that people understand. Even our friendship with Allie, like Allie was there for the whole thing. She remembers us being crazy. Like you guys see the podcast. Allie doesn't see over there. It's like, how are we gonna win? What's going on? This is so annoying. Channing's getting on my nerve. Like, Bron's being a little, whiny baby. Kevin won't stop fucking crying about like she's there for the whole thing. So I think for people, when you recognize a championship, a lot of times the players and sometimes the coaches get recognition, but it's a whole training staff, equipment staff, like the whole crew becomes this like little fucking family.
Because everyone got to be on the same page, Go ahead.
Yeah, and it all has a part in why Road Trippin is where it's at. I love when we start the episodes like this. So if anyone is joining Road Trippin as a viewer or listener for the first time, this is it. Welcome. It's Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye. I am Allie Clifton. But I think to kind of tie it all together, I love that this naturally just happened. We had some fan mail delivered to us earlier this week.
Toy.
And we're just going to take a minute. This isn't to brag or boast. Maybe it is. Just kidding. In a sense, this is more so just a continued shout out to our listeners and our viewers who have been with us since day one of 2017 and those that are coming on board throughout. We love you. We hear you. We see you. And we got this week. So we're just going to read it. They addressed it. Dear RJ, Channing, and Allie. I love dears. I just wanted to reach out and let you know how much I've enjoyed your podcast over the years. I've been a fan since college when I found myself turning to your episodes as a way to relax and have a good laugh. It got me through some tough times and long road trips even. It's been so great listening to RJ, Channing, and Allie jokes and interviews, and it's crazy to see how much the podcast has grown and inspired other NBA players and athletes to start their own podcasts and own their voices. When I first started listening to Road Trippin' in 2017, I had only a basic understanding of the NBA and didn't even know about Richard's career with the Nets. I still find myself being like, wow, you scored that many points? Or Channing's impact, just kidding, on the league as a stretch five. But through listening to your pod, I've learned so much and become a huge fan of the game. It's been cool to see Richard commentating on NBA games and being TikTok famous, Channing joining the Twitter media wine space, and Allie killing it with Spectrum and the Lakers. Overall, Road Trippin' has been a big part of my life for the past 6 years. And I just want to let you know how much I appreciate everything you do. If it's not too much trouble, I'd love if you could send me some stickers or merch so I can show my support for the podcast. Thanks again for everything. Best, Matthew Zhang. Sorry if I butchered your last name, Matthew. That meant a lot to us.
What's up?
Zhang.
Zhang.
No,
I don't know.
We don't know. Standard of what you got over the last 230 plus episodes. We appreciate it, Matthew. We appreciate everyone. To that point, we're actually starting to work on our merchandise, if you will, opening up a Road Trippin store. So stay tuned for that. We're really excited talking about different fun things that can go.
Because you've been such a big fan, Channing's going to send you a barrel of wine, not a case, like a barrel.
Do you know how much a barrel of wine costs? That's 50 cases. Yo, listen, don't get me started, motherfucker. I was just on the line talking about vineyard managers. Yeah, I do this, guys.
Tell us the reward for Matthew.
Oh, man. You know what, Matthew? Richard's going to send you a video, a personalized video telling you his appreciation.
I'm doing it right now.
That's actually dope.
Allie's going to give you a link to her OnlyFans for her OnlyFeet fans page.
You're welcome. But with that said, continue to send in questions, comments, all your thoughts. We'll take them all in. Obviously, you can hit us up on Twitter, on Instagram at Road Trippin. We've got that number. I believe it's 6575. Call RT. Give it all to us. So that is our moment with the fans that we certainly appreciate and love very much.
Matthew,
guys.
I was saying if no one listened, we would not do this. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Literally, thank you.
We get to do this where I now get to talk to my people once a week and talk about basketball and make fun of each other and like watch Channing digging his nose.
Just trying to make sure I don't got no boogers.
Clean his nails with scissors. No big deal.
Oh, yeah. Somebody said, hey, we're going to call you Hygiene Edgerson from now on.
What's your epiphany, Channing?
As much as we think basketball is about 3-pointers and no defense, I have realized that basketball right now is more about the big man than it ever has been ever in the history of basketball.
Okay. I can see
and why
that.
I say that is,
I
was watching
history now. The 90s was a lot of bigs. Just saying.
To be able to score or shoot the ball the way that players are shooting at this rate, if you don't have a big man that goes downhill, that is a run, stop, and lob guy, you cannot not run an offense. If you don't have a guy, unless you have Giannis or unless you have Joel Embiid or Jokic.
But those guys are also roll guys. Those guys are also roll lob threats. They just are multi-skilled.
When I'm looking at some of the teams that have gotten passed by this year, or teams that are not good, they don't have that threat. So, for instance, and I know it's not that I hate the Warriors, but Kevon Looney is not that threat anymore. And they thought that James Wiseman, they got James Wiseman, but James Wiseman, oh, that hurt.
And they don't have JaVale McGee.
And they don't have JaVale McGee. But look, if you look at the top 5 teams in each conference, each one of them, think about Nick Claxton. Think about what Nick Claxton does for the Nets that allows them to run a screen and roll and then to collapse the defense and they kick out. Think about the Boston Celtics. Think about the Bucks, right, with Giannis. Think about Denver. Think about Phoenix when they have Booker and DeAndre Ayton. Think about all these teams, how important. Think about Sacramento, like how much better they are because they have Sabonis that rolls to the hoop, can catch the ball, make a decision, and kick out to shooters. What I've realized is that the big men in today's game are so vitally important. And people think, oh, it's just about shooting threes. But if you're not getting layups, you're just chucking up shots. And I was watching Portland last night, and I was like, they got nobody. No offense to Nurk or what he's doing, right? Because he's been rebounding the shit out of the ball. But he's not a rim roller. He's not a roll threat. And they have no size. And think about Golden State. They don't have no size. It's hard for them to win when you take 10 possessions and you're jacking up threes.
Well, Golden State's defense, they just aren't playing good defense. So their offense isn't necessarily the problem. Like they're
Richard, if you're getting a layup, it allows your defense. In Phoenix, we were taught if we get a layup, regardless of how bad our defense is, you can set up your defense. That gives you a 10% more chance to make the right play. If you're jacking up threes within a movement on defense or on offense, if something goes wrong, you're in transition defense, which is almost impossible to guard in today's game. So teams that are getting layups, right, with 4 people back, somebody has to take the ball out, and most of these teams aren't like grabbing it out of the net and throwing it down and running it down your throat. Like, these teams are a little bit more methodical, especially after a score. So I'm pretty interested to see how this plays out as the season goes by. But I was watching like Portland, like, how are y'all not winning right now? And Cleveland kept getting
bigs are important.
They ran the first 7 plays of the game. Cleveland ran a screen and roll. Either Jared Allen or Evan Mobley got it and just lobbed it to the other one, just like this. Bloop. Dunk, 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 dunk. 7 straight dunks.
You see what Aaron Gordon's doing? You see what Aaron Gordon's doing? Aaron Gordon is the roll threat. He is the roll threat for their team.
Yeah.
Dunk.
He's second in the league in dunks. Do you know that stat? It's crazy.
Yes.
Aaron Gordon is
7
second
dunks
in the
on
league
Christmas
in dunks.
Day. He had 7 on Christmas Day.
From what? He was just like, you know what? I'm just going to go this way. Instead of staying here, I'm going to go that way.
That looks like me back in 2003. The only thing I would get points on was dunks and layups. I couldn't shoot a 3 to save my life. I was not trash at 03. I started for a team that went to the NBA Finals. Fuck you.
Because they didn't have anybody else.
You know what's wow. You are that was literally like a yo mama joke.
Only your friend can be like, you started for a team that went to the finals? You suck. Right?
You trash. Garbage.
It's funny that you bring up that conversation because I was before this podcast looking up this day in history. And how ironic is this that you literally start the conversation with that, Channing? Do you know back in 1962 on this day, January 13th,
Richard was 12.
Wilt Chamberlain scored 73 points against the Warriors. At that time, you guys, it was the highest single game points put up by a player in regulation. Now it's the 3rd highest, obviously. But less than 2 months later, 7'1", is that Wilt? 7'1"?
Yeah.
Put up 100.
Well,
his 100-point game came after scoring 73.
That was the year he averaged 50. Now, make no mistake. Do you guys know?
Okay.
When they say who's the greatest scorer of all time, like that conversation is not really had, right? Like, obviously,
for a reason, Richard. And I'll let you go. But
the greatest scorer of all time is Wilt Chamberlain. Make no mistake. Like, there is nobody that will ever dominate anything ever. Excuse me, Channing. Wilt Chamberlain is that. Now he's rubbing his nose in it. No. Wilt Chamberlain is that dude. He's the greatest scorer of all time. Everybody else is Jordan, he couldn't shoot. Like, man, this game ain't about, you don't get points for creativity here, right? Who can put the ball in the basket the best for the longest? Like, that's all it's about. Yeah.
Speaking of Jordan, I'll let you crush this, Channing, in a moment, that topic. But speaking of him, do you know what he did on this day in history?
What?
Michael Jordan.
I don't know.
Announced his retirement for the 2nd time. Anyways, go on, Channing.
So, sitting back with some of the best players ever to play the game back at Turner, right? We always talk about the difference of, like, when you look back at those teams and you look at, like, today's players. Did you ever look at what his shooting percentage was?
Who?
Like Wilt?
No.
Wilt and some of them?
What was it, like 70%?
Like 40%.
Really?
So, like, when he was averaging 50 and 30 rebounds, his shooting percentage max was like 50 1 year. So imagine somebody who never shoots outside the paint, but never shoots 50%. Right?
He's just throwing the ball up and go getting it.
He's throwing the ball up and going to get it. Like, the skill level of what they were doing, he was a freak of nature. Now, we're not saying disrespect. We're saying, and this is more of a case to, like, the players today. Think about, like, Jokic and KD and Giannis that are shooting like 60% total of their shots, and they're averaging like 30. Think about somebody at that point, but Jokic shoots threes and Embiid shoots threes. Oh, anyways. But yeah, he was not shooting a high percentage for somebody that never shot outside the paint. He was just like, athlete.
And make no mistake, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm not saying Wilt was great, but the players have gotten better. Players have gotten better. But, like, I wonder what JaVale McGee today could do if you put him back in the 60s.
What?
Like, what could JaVale McGee do if you put him in the 60s? Yo,
would be like JaVale? They would have commercials for him. Gatorade would have been like.
I'm not going to say he's better than Wilt Chamberlain. I'm not going to say anything like that.
No, we're not saying that.
I'm not disrespecting. I'm saying, what could a player do if you do?
Oh.
Like, even now, I am old. You put me in a high school game, I might be able to do some things.
What are you even saying with that, though? You put me in a high school game, I could do things.
What I'm helping you out is that the level of competition changes, right? Like, what I'm saying is that JaVale McGee is a 7-footer, probably similar athleticism to Wilt, but I would say that JaVale McGee, like, you know, his skill level.
Athleticism, the same as athleticism?
Athleticism. All right? Like, I'm sorry.
There's a
what
T,
you trying to say?
There's
Use
the T.
No.
Use the sound.
And English people that in England and Jamaica and Canada, everybody has a different fucking tone. Like, don't
continue with your thought.
You're from Arizona, Richard. Shut up.
Whatever.
You're from Glendale.
Okay. Where
continue with your thought. You were really going on a great path.
My thought was that's the curious. Now, not if LeBron James played in the 60s. No, that's not what I'm talking about. If you put a very athletic 7-footer from today with his skill set and his game, if you were to put him in the 60s, that's where I was like, I wonder if JaVale McGee would be a 32-15 guy. I wonder.
JaVale got bounce.
You know?
It's a great point. Channing, I know you were at the Blazers game last night, so you probably didn't catch, maybe you've seen some highlights, but given your night out with the Cavs, probably not. Rich, I know that you did see it, but overall,
I did see that.
Let's start.
Are you talking about the Lakers?
Did you?
Game?
The Lakers, yeah.
I
just want to make sure you saw something.
Went to the bar with Ted.
Amazing.
Watched all the rest of the games.
Okay, so you guys saw how that one ended, obviously. They were down by as many as 19. The crazy thing that Big Game said on our post-game show that I guess I wasn't paying attention so much, it was more so about the run for the Lakers, was that Luka didn't score in the fourth. Mm-hmm. They held him scoreless for 11 minutes and 54 seconds until he hit the one and only shot that mattered at that time. So
basically, y'all didn't do shit.
That's not a fact. The Lakers have won 6 of 9. They've won 5 of 7 without AD. They're 8-9 on the season without Anthony Davis. What are you seeing from the Lakers as of late? Rich, I kind of had that moment with you. I thought that they were going to win that game last night, and that was before. I think that was in the third quarter.
What did I say? You were like, "It's gonna be nice to win the game." I was like, "Oh, they're not gonna win this game." They're like, "Look," because it was like a 5-point game, and then she's telling me, she goes, "Okay, they've cut it to 2." I'm like, "They're not gonna win this game." She's like, "The Lakers have just taken the lead," and I was like, "Allie, they're not gonna win this game." And this is what the reason why I said, and I was like, "No disrespect, I would never take this player over
disrespect the shit out of him, Richard."
I said, right now, Luka Doncic is the best player on the floor. I'm always going to take the best player on the floor. Now, I wouldn't take Luka in a playoff series versus Bron, but Luka at last night was the best player on the floor.
God, those 2 threes. But when it comes to the Lakers, as of late, what are you guys thinking of the Lakers? I don't feel like we talk about them too much on here. Does this one loss reflect more of maybe who they'll be down the stretch? Are you seeing great signs from them? Obviously, the trade deadline is coming up.
Let me start with
How would you guys kind of unpack the Lakers?
Let me start with this one. I think the Lakers are in a solid striking spot. If they make a move and they start playing, more consistent, you can't go 5 of 7, win 5 of 7, then lose 4 in a row. Like, you can't do that, right? Like that's not. You got to go 8 out of 10. You lose 2, 3 in a row, or you lose 2 in a row, then you win 5 out of 6, and then you lose, 2 in a row, then you go 3 out of 4. Like, that's how you can add, and at the end of the season, you're in a respectable spot. You keep going this in and out, kind of like with the Golden State Warriors. You could be the best team in the league at home. If you're the worst team in the league on the road, they have the least amount of road wins in the conference, less than Houston. That's just disrespectful to the game of basketball with the amount of talent that they wheel out there on most nights. Even with Steph missing the last month, they have less road wins than Houston. The Lakers are in a good spot. They're playing like Dallas is the Lakers are in a good spot. They've won. They were 5 of 7, and Dallas is a top 5 playoff team, and they battled them to double overtime without Anthony Davis. Right, like that. To me, that means like and Luka was forced to hit shots. Like, they were forced to answer. those calls. The Lakers were in a position, they had a guy that can answer it. So I think the Lakers are not a good team. They're not a contending team. They're not anything, right? But I do believe that they're within striking distance. If they make a move, that they could be something. They're not a debacle. They're not a 2-8 team like they started the season.
They're in the midst of a 5-game homestand. Obviously, they've got 4 more. It's a very critical stretch, though we are here in January. When it comes to being 4 games under 500, you talk about guys in and out of the lineup. You're still without Austin Reeves, Lonnie Walker the fourth. Pat Bev was out last night. You talk about key rotation players, and Anthony Davis, though ramping up, I just find it to be, obviously, I'm a bit biased in terms of having covered them every single day. I think the play in which they are putting out there as of late, look, they're a couple games out of that 6th spot, though they're in 11th, 12th. That's how
Thomas Bryant stays healthy. Y'all better pray. Because honestly,
to him.
Dude, shout out! Like,
he was playing well. He was playing well in Washington before he got hurt. He was doing some really good things up there in Washington, like athletic, strong.
He is the reason why they have the spacing. The Lakers. How is it that y'all are like 6th in scoring, 29th in 3-pointers made? That's disgusting. You're not winning any game like that.
I mean, the other night, because if you look at our players, though, and the way in which they attack, so much is on the break. It is a lot inside. You've got guys that are converting inside. To your point, Thomas Bryant, 17 and 10 over his last 14 games, 66%. They just put 71 points up, 61% for the game against Sacramento. It's a part of their win-yin. He
had a solid game. But these are
it's one solid game. You can't ask him to do that based on his paycheck. So
that's not. We can't. No, Jennings, right. You can't ask him to do that consistently.
Right, listen, I remember when I was getting the league minimum in Phoenix, and one of the coaches came up to me and goes, "Channing, why are you upset?" Coach, I didn't play that good. He goes, "I didn't expect you to." He goes, "Channing, you're making X amount." He goes, "If we have 4 games, I just need you to play good 2.5 games. Good. Give me 2.5 games." He goes, "Now, Steve, Amari, Jason Richardson, that's 3.75 out of 4." He goes, "What? We don't expect you to do that. That's not who you are."
Is that why you were 2.5 good? Is that why you were like that during the playoffs? Is that why you were like that? Because Channing was like, "Hey, listen, we making minimum. Those motherfuckers over there making $30 million. We got you here. Y'all finish it off. Don't look over here."
Here's the thing.
You can't ask them to be special. They're not. They're not special. They are great role players. The Lakers, unless you have to get better skilled players. You can have the most athletic team of all time attacking the rim. Do you know how hard you have a whole team of DeMar DeRozans? Okay, wonderful. You know how many twos it takes to keep up with a team that can shoot 10 threes, 12 threes, more or less 20 threes? Come on now. It's impossible.
Respect to your philosophy, and I get it, and it makes 100% sense. I don't think they're asking Winnie Gabriel, for example, to be this for 82 games, but he has to hold it down until you do become healthy. And I think right now they are stepping up to the plate. Case in point, Thomas Bryant, a stretch of 14 straight games, right? Yeah. So having said that, that was just kind of my point there, because we're adding that to the merchandise store. I'm actually not mad. I'm just mad I don't have a drink. All right, moving on. Oklahoma City. What do you got on your heart, Channing? Throw it out there.
No, I was just saying, if we're going to talk about other boo-boo teams, might as well talk about the Oklahoma City.
No.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, so we're not going to do that.
Can I have something? I have one thing. Knicks fans, and I know there are no Knicks fans that listen to this podcast because you guys all hate me, and I like
because
it.
Of you.
But if you are a person who knows a Knicks fan and hates me, you can send this to them. My question was this. Was Jalen Brunson, and I think he was he the best free agent pickup of the entire offseason? Take your time.
I'd have to see the rest of them.
Not trades. We're talking not trades. Not
just this offseason entirely.
This offseason, did the Knicks make the best move in the free agent market?
Without a doubt. I don't think now here's I'm gonna preface this.
Not that it was a big free agency market, it wasn't anything but at the end of the day, can you point to the Knicks and say they targeted a person in free agency. They got their guy, and he has delivered, and he has improved their team at the best level, better than any other free agent that they could have targeted or was available.
Donovan was a trade, right? Yes,
Yep.
that was a trade.
Jalen Brunson allows Julius Randle to be himself, right? Julius Randle by himself is a jalapeno pepper. You ain't just gonna eat that. But if you get little slices of him, right, and then it adds the right kind of spiciness. Like, no offense, Julius Randle as a player and his style is not consistent enough to win games throughout a year. He did it once. That was a weird year. Congrats, But we saw what happened in the playoffs. What Jalen Brunson does is take a medium talent team and gives them the ability to be better every single night because he's making the right decision 99% of the time. Julius is going, here, let's run a play for him. So Julius doesn't have to just dribble the ball up, do his moves, and then go try to get fouled. They'll run a play so that the ball moves, people are touching it, and then he gets the ball. Or it's like, hey, y'all need me to score? I can score. You need me to get in the free throw line? I could do that. Like, Jalen Brunson plays basketball the right way. Now, what's going to happen during the playoffs? What I think, he's really good defensively.
Yeah,
let's talk about the regular season. We'll talk about the regular season.
No. I'm just saying. I don't think that Jalen Brunson. Like, I'm not trying to say the Knicks are going to make a run. I'm not saying that they're doing anything. I think they're a much better team, playoff team. Good for them. Especially they made a good run, playoff team. They had a next year where they struggled. They addressed area that they thought that could get them back into a respectable place of like being a playoff team, and they did that. And I was just looking back on it, I was like, I can't think of a better free agent pickup all
off season.
And that not
He's
many
good.
times you can say that about the Knicks. And so I'm giving the Knicks credit.
Dallas Mavericks need to go find somebody that Luka can trust, like they trusted Jalen, but bigger. I don't know who that is, but
what about Christian Wood? Are you liking Christian Wood? Christian
Wood's good, but he's good.
He had himself a night last
him
night.
to make plays.
He's
like
a third.
that.
He needs to be your third guy.
Yeah.
He needs to be a third guy.
You need a ball handler, dude. Luka does too much. He does so much. And you're like, dog, like, sometimes you gotta.
They don't have other guys that handle the ball.
They need to bring another dog in there.
What? They do.
They need to bring a dog in there.
Luka's so different, man, that they're gonna find somebody. Somebody wants to go play with him. He's so different. Like, even then, to not score a bucket, to not be stressed, to not be in foul trouble, to just kind of play in the game and being held quiet for that entire time. He hadn't made a bucket, and you put the ball in his hands with 30 seconds to go, and like, dude, we need a 3 to tie this game. It's like, I got you. Knocks it down. All right.
Speaking of the foul trouble, can we talk about how long he played with 5 fouls, but still like was the reason why they won? Like, but also
the league is not the same. Like, you used to be able to target dudes with 4 or 5 fouls. Like, you used to target them. You used to waste 2 or 3 possessions just going at someone, even if you scored a turnover, even if you wasted those possessions, because the value of that foul was so great. You used to target it. We don't do that in the league anymore. I'm not a coach, but if I was a coach, that's such a valuable tool that the league has gone away with. If someone got their second foul and the coach, and the coach kept him in, we're going to drop him. We're going to go, it used to be drop 3, drop 4. You remember that, Channing? That just meant post up on the wing, you go play one-on-one against him, because it was wing heavy. It was Latrell Sprewell, Katino Mobley, Allen Houston, Ray Allen, Kobe Bryant, T-Mac. It was wing heavy. So if one of them got in foul trouble, you would just get to go play one-on-one. Let's see. Is he going to play good enough defense and risk a third foul? Because the coach would then take him out. They're like, dude, if they're going to keep targeting him, he's not going to try and block it, because if you get the point, because he's not playing good defense, or he's in risk of getting a third foul. So even if you don't score for 3 possessions, the value that you can get there is so important, and teams just don't do it. And Luka should have never been in that game with that long with 5 fouls. I would have posted him up every single time with our best post player.
Hey, Road Trippin, our next partner has a product we're personally using every day. We're all taking Athletic Greens because we want more energy, better immune systems, and we all got tired of taking pills and vitamins. Want to see what the hype is all about? It's obvious. Every scoop of AG1 tastes great and helps us to feel our best in the morning. We have the peace of mind knowing that we're beginning every day with 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and even probiotics. Right now, it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition, especially heading into the flu and cold season. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your own health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/roadtrippin. Take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutrition insurance today. Again, go to athleticgreens.com/roadtrippin. Get started today. Hey, Road Trippers, let's all make those New Year's resolutions a reality. It's time to start thinking about changing your habits and really focusing on your overall health. But you don't have to make huge, unsustainable changes by following strict or trendy fad diets. Start 2023 off right by switching out one meal a day to Huel. That's Huel, Huel. With Huel, you'll be at ease knowing you're getting all the nutrients you need in that one quick meal, beginning with one small sustainable change. You'll drastically increase your chances of success. Start a habit you can stick to. Huel has easy calorie-controlled portions, so you'll know exactly what you're putting into your body. Every Huel meal is made from natural ingredients, and the vitamins give it 160 different health benefits. Plus, Huel is super convenient. It only takes 30 seconds to shake up your meal, then you can take it with you anywhere. Complete nutrition in under a minute. What's better than that? And you don't have to think about how healthy it is. Huel, they've done all the work for you. So get started by using Huel.com/roadtrippin today. Stick to your New Year's resolutions of living a healthier lifestyle. You'll even throw in a free t-shirt and shaker with your first order. That's Huel, Huel.com/roadtrippin. I have an interesting question for you guys. It was an analogy that was brought up on our crew last night after Troy Brown Jr. shot that three and he gets the slap on the hand, right? But the defender runs past him. If you see the replay, he didn't run over him, but he runs past him. Okay, it's a foul, right? The analogy that was made is because that is no longer a foul, correct? You can hit the hand in the air, but as long as there's no body contact, arm contact, correct? In today's, it is no longer a foul.
A high five.
Yes,
Wrist,
okay.
No, you can give a high five. Even if it's this way, even if it's a side high five, even if it's a side high five. So if you're coming from this way, not a foul. Not a foul. Not a foul. Foul.
We all came out of the womb shooting a basketball into the air, right? So we've done it for so long. The analogy that was made last night was, say you are a golfer. Channing, you golf. You've swung a club, Rich. And someone comes up to you. You're getting ready to swing the club. And someone comes up to you as you are about to make contact with the ball. And they take the club out of your hand. Or they knock you in the back. You don't think that that's going to change the trajectory of where that ball goes or what happens with your swing. So you're saying that when you're hit right here, that doesn't affect your shot?
But if you're hit right there, the ball is still in your hand. If the ball is still in your hand, like releasing.
Which it's not.
If it's not, then the ball's already been released. If the ball's already been released.
What are we taught?
If the ball is out of your hand, 1/1,000,000th, and I hit you there, if the ball's out of your hand, it doesn't affect the shot. If the ball is in your hand and I do that, it will affect the shot. But a high five is still a high five. So it will, even the finishing of the wrist, if the ball is gone and you get hit here in the finish of your wrist, the ball's gone.
I struggle with that because we are taught beef at a very small age. Balance eyes, elbows, follow through. I struggle with that.
That's a foul.
You're taught to get the cookie. Yes, it's a foul is my point. Yes.
Wrist is a foul. Wrist is a foul. Hand is a high five.
We're going to agree to disagree on this one.
Allie,
I can't.
Because
people used to tap my hand all the time. The minute the ball is out of my hands, you could do whatever you want to my hand. People used to push my whole arm back, but the ball was already gone. So
you're trying to tell me that if you haven't finished your follow through, you wouldn't be pissed off.
I was pissed off every time. They never called a foul, Allie. I'm telling you, it's not a foul.
It's not a foul.
The ball is gone. The ball is gone.
Should be a foul.
They don't care about that. They don't care about you finishing your spot. They care about you finishing your landing. That's the only thing.
But that's a foul after the ball's already out?
Yes, because it's safety
your feet.
reasons. It's safety reasons. That's why the referees, again, I learned this. When they're watching a person go up and shoot, they look up at wrist, down at landing. That's what they do. Up at wrist.
What are we doing, Channing?
What's wrong? No, up at wrist, down at landing. That's what I'm just telling you. So they don't care about the wrist. They don't care about the hand.
Yeah.
They care about the wrist. If there's nothing there, the next thing they do is look at the landing. That's why I said it was a foul, because he hit him, even though the ball is gone, even though he didn't hit his arm, he clipped him on his way down. That's a foul 100% of the time.
Okay. I feel like, but you guys think it should be a foul? Yes.
Flipping someone, yes, because if I'm shooting a shot and I feel like I'm going to get taken out, now I can't even follow through.
So we're saying the same thing.
I feel like you're
saying the same thing, Jenny from the block.
Yeah. If I feel like I'm going to land on your feet because you're underneath me, I can't shoot my normal shot. That's a foul.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why
I was heated, and I'm heated in my Jenny from the block, Mink. Okay, so let's go from the offensive player to the defensive side of the basketball. Brook Lopez. He's flying up the list, you guys, for contenders of Defensive Player of the Year. He turns 35 April 1st. He's currently second to Jaren Jackson Jr., according to today's Vegas odds. He leads the league in blocks, 101, has a shot contest rate that's significantly higher than anyone in the league. And Giannis spoke up the way that Lopez has been playing. He's definitely the league's best defender and worthy of the award.
I don't think Jaren Jackson Jr. I got to check on how many. Hold on, let me see. I want to see how many games he played. Because
that he possibly hasn't played enough to qualify.
Not to qualify, but I know what Brook Lopez has been doing.
You know what? Okay, give him the award. What?
It's impressive. You're playing on a winning team.
So he's played.
Yeah, he's playing on a winning team. He's blocking. They have the right scheme for it. He's being aggressive. Brooke is. This is what's fucked up about Brook Lopez. Is like people forgot this dude averaged 25 for a whole season and was unstoppable. Was an all-star center. Was one of the best centers in the league, and just goes, I just want to shoot threes now.
Okay,
and just goes, I just want to shoot threes now.
So he's played in 25 of their 40 games. He's been doing great. Brook Lopez currently right now, to me, if the vote was going on, but should get Defensive Player of the Year, because the way that man's been balling, he was beating up everybody's shots.
Yeah, but is that just basketball anymore? Is he just a Rudy Gobert?
No, he's not Rudy Gobert, because he can stretch the floor and allow Giannis to be the driver, and then
this
big
is defense, Richard. We're talking about defensive player.
I'm talking about on the floor.
Is he better than Mikal Bridges?
Yes, I think he's having
defensively
more impact. Yes, Brook Lopez, he is. You get past Giannis, right? If Giannis is guarding Kevin Durant, you get past Giannis, then Brook Lopez is blocking shots.
Now, mind you, Giannis is a Defensive Player of the Year. So
agreed, but I'm saying though, Brook Lopez.
What are you saying?
Your defense, Brook Lopez.
Yeah. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I don't mind it. I just think he's been the most impressive defensive player this year. Not saying better. Is somebody better offensively or MVP? Like Jokic has never been the best player on the planet, and he's on pace for 3 straight MVPs. And at no point in time would anybody say he's the best player on the planet.
I mean, he is by far the best player on the planet. It's almost not even close.
Who?
Giannis?
Jokic. No, you're wrong. No, Jokic is not the best player on the planet.
What?
Dive in, and I want Channing to go first.
Are you? There is no other player in the NBA that is top 5 in every statistical category. And there's no other players that makes his team. What do you say?
Are blocks and steals are categories, or are you just saying offensively?
I would say offensively. So rebounds, assists, and points.
Continue.
There's no other player that makes his team that much better.
Okay.
It just in all facets of the game. His skill set is the cleanest skill set in the NBA at an elite level. It's beautiful. At his size, he can, for a guy to get 5 shots, not complain about his shots, and dominate a game. There's no other player that
he
can
gets
just
to pick his shot. He gets to pick his shots.
Yeah, but think about this. Most players, if we were going to say an MVP, his 5-shot game was more impressive to me because I watched the whole game of how he dominated the game by just going, oh, y'all want me to pass now? Here you go. Bloop, 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 bloop. And just played the game the right way. There was no, I need to score more to help. Like, I want to get my points up. He was like, oh, y'all give me this? I'll take that. Y'all want to give me this? I'll take that. That, to me, is a sign of wild dominance that I don't know I've seen. You can't name me a time where Giannis or KD or Jason Tatum would take 5 shots and be able to dominate a game. That's
fair. But what I'm saying is that unique ability, just because someone has that ability, doesn't mean. Now, I want to look at Giannis's last few games. Like he had
their comparisons are insane.
44 and 22, 43 and 20, 55, 10 and 7, 30, 21 and 10. Right now, last game he was terrible. 3 of 10, 7 points. I feel like our guy's getting a little tired, but had 18 rebounds and 10 assists. So now when we start looking at his assists, now this is my thing. Everything that you said about Jokic is 100% true.
Right.
But we're talking about the best basketball player on the planet, the most dominant player on the planet, right? Giannis is not as impressive offensively, even though it's close. But defensively, what Giannis also brings to the table is not even remotely close.
Totally, that is true.
That's not to say that Jokic is a bad defender. I'm not saying that, people.
He's not on Giannis's level.
He's an average defender, average to slightly above average because of his IQ. Like, you're not going to just be able to target him. But at no point in time will he ever dominate a game defensively. Giannis dominates games defensively, and he is on par offensively with Jokic, even though I would give Jokic the edge because of the things that he does. So using that, I'm going to ask you this one more question. Who is the best basketball player on the planet?
Jokic.
You're out of your fucking mind. That math isn't even mathing.
Put Jokic on the amount of you don't even need plays when you have Jokic. You have to have a specific team to play with Giannis. Now, we're not knocking, we are breaking straws, right? Little straws or whatever that term is.
The game of basketball is 2 sides, Channing.
To that point, Rich, you asked Channing about steals and blocks. Stocks, steals and blocks, right?
Right.
Jokic has...
What does he have?
On
Tell
the
him out.
season, 54 steals.
Yeah.
To Giannis's 28.
That's it.
To Giannis's 28. Now,
this shit is weak. That's
Giannis edges the Joker by 10 in blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's playing with Aaron Gordon.
Rebounds, Giannis has 1 more. Assists, it's damn near triple for Jokic, 368 to 187. Though when it comes to field goals, Giannis is attempted 729 to 578 for Jokic. Jokic has obviously a 62% rate to a 52%. You talk about usage there. Jokic 8 threes more.
That's it?
Made.
No, it can't be 8.
With less attempts. 33
wait.
of 88 to 25 of 102 for Giannis.
Really?
Yeah, Jokic doesn't shoot a lot of threes. They're just all.
He doesn't shoot a lot of threes. Yeah, I'm just giving you some comparisons. Here's my question then for the both of you, because at the end of the day, when you talk about best player on the planet, that obviously translates to winning, right?
Yeah.
If you were to have a 7-game series, who would you want?
Ooh,
in a 7-game series?
Milwaukee is healthy. Milwaukee would motherfucking whoop Denver's tail.
What?
If Milwaukee was healthy, no, you're out of your mind, bro.
If was a 5th and we all be drunk, listen, they're not healthy. What I'm saying is,
you say they're not healthy, but they have the same record. They have the same record. And we're gonna
say fair. And you've got Denver and Milwaukee in these teams.
We saw what happened to Milwaukee last year. We saw what happened to Milwaukee last year.
You get to
7
create
games.
a team around these two individuals.
Yeah.
Who do you want? Who are you
dude,
picking?
That's a hard choice, Allie. You
No,
can't go
yeah,
wrong.
they're talking about
But
the
I'm
two- you're
taking
talking about the
Jokic.
two of
I'm
the-
taking Jokic.
I would for Channing and I, like, so we had a thing. We were like, who is the most fun player to watch between the two? Hypothetically.
Oh,
Like, if you're a fan, it's Giannis, right? Who is the best playmaker of the two? It's Jokic. Who is the person that you would want to play with the most?
Oh, it's Jokic.
Jokic.
But yeah, like, that's not a disrespect. It's like, do you want to play with LeBron or do you want to play with Kobe? Well, LeBron's gonna pass him the ball a fuck ton more than Kobe
He's
is.
gonna take 5 shots in a game. A two-time MVP takes 5 shots.
So I don't describe someone's dominance by do you want to play with them, right? Like that's
do you want a snowman?
I didn't ask who you wanted to play with. I'm saying who are you taking?
I am taking
as a GM.
Because this is for my thing.
I would take Jokic because I could put anybody with him. Here's why.
On the offensive end, you can put anybody with him and you will make them better. Defensively, there's a reason why he's needed. And again, every player needs something. I just think that defensively, you will have, if you build around Giannis, it is much easier to build a top 5, top 10 defense. And around him, it is much easier because he's very similar to LeBron and he's a willing passer, gets multiple triple doubles, that it's easy to have a dominant player on the defensive end, on the offensive end, that is also a very, very willing passer for a superstar.
Now, for everyone listening, I absolutely love Giannis.
Yuv.
So we are
Yuv. What's Yuv?
I love him.
Yeah, Yuv.
So don't think that we are bashing either one. I took a
Not
stance.
You.
I am not bashing him. I would, if you gave me Giannis, I would be happy. We are slicing
Tell your
up
dad jokes.
Yeah, exactly. To me, it is easier to find defensive players that Jokic can make better rather than finding offensive players that need to be good defensively. Like, Giannis didn't win until they surrounded him with Drew Holiday, Bobby Portis, Big Lopez.
Jamal Murray's an all-star player. He's also got Aaron Gordon.
Jamal Murray is actually not an all-star, by the way.
No, but I'm saying he's an all-star caliber player. Before he
obviously not. No, he's not. Okay. He's never been an all-star, so he's not an all-star caliber player, Richard.
That's just no. Come on, don't do that. Don't just disagree. Just be a dick.
I'm not disagreeing. It doesn't make sense.
Jamal Murray went to the conference
caliber player too.
Jamal Murray went to the bubble and was getting 50 balls and led a team to the conference finals before.
That doesn't mean okay. So did TJ Warren. Is he an all-star player? So did TJ Warren.
TJ Warren. The conference finals
in the bubble.
Best player in the bubble, is second best player in the bubble. Like, okay, really.
TJ Warren at 50.
Let's unpack.
Now, TJ Warren. I'm arguing.
Now you're arguing. Let's unpack it.
If you put a jalapeno and a habanero in a skillet, this is where we are right now.
Jamal Murray.
He is a all-star caliber player.
He's a Drew Holiday like type player. I'm saying this when Jamal Murray, Jamal Murray missed an entire season because of an ACL. Jamal Murray
and Drew Holiday are not comparable, big guy.
If Jamal Murray at his peak, he is still recovering from a knee injury. He's 30 games into a season. Prior to this, if we were referencing Jamal Murray's ascension from a top 10 pick to a 18-point a game scorer, their team went to the postseason every year. He starts going for 50 points in the bubble, and then they 2-3-1 comebacks and goes to the conference finals as the second best player on a team.
Right.
And Jokic was not MVP Jokic yet. So that meant Jamal Murray had more responsibility. So if I'm going to say that Jamal Murray by the end of this season or next season is a Drew Holiday quality player, that's true, right? Aaron Gordon, what he is doing, top 10 pick, everyone knows, gets out of Orlando and every year has been ascending, right? Every year he's got better, especially with Jokic. That's all I'm saying. We can't say that Jokic has nobody and they had to go get Drew and then Chris Middleton. Yes, every player needs somebody. Let's not say like Jokic has no, and they got Michael Porter Jr. also, who's a 6'10" fucking ratchet. Like,
what does ratchet mean, Richard?
A ratchet. That man, the dude can
he be shooting that thing.
He shoots like you.
No. Shit, my shit was absolute flamethrower. It's is medium lighter right now.
Ooh.
I'm joking, Michael Porter.
That was a
Easy
fun
job.
conversation.
What?
I still don't know if we figured out who is the better player in the world.
It's the best player in the world is Jokic. Jokic is about to be a 3-time MVP if he maintains this season, but he's not the best player in the world. He's not the best.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, yeah.
We're going to agree to disagree is how that conversation just went, which is always fun. Let's end on this topic before we hit some fun ones really quick to wrap this episode up.
First round. Remember when LeBron never lost in the first round until he lost to the Suns? When you are the most dominant player in the world, the best player in the world.
How did the Bucks do last year without Chris Middleton?
They lost in the second round. They lost in the second round. To the team that went to the NBA Finals.
Okay, so a loss is a loss. Catch that L. Anyways, let's go, Jenny from the block.
Stay in the East. Speaking of, which we were not, but we're going there.
Have we not mentioned that Allie is wearing a chinchilla Jordan jacket?
It's in honor of all the minks that are running rampant in my hometown, or were 10,000 of them.
What?
Yeah, they were released, and just go Google it. It was on the Today Show. Hoda couldn't even keep it a straight face. She was laughing.
Somebody broke into a facility and released a bunch of minks that
10,000.
And they're just running around your.
They were running rampant. Yeah, they were just running.
That's a lot of money. Those minks are.
They caught. I think there was like a couple thousand that they weren't able to catch. They caught the majority of them, but nonetheless, you'd be coming out of like Chiefs, the grocery store, and they'd just be like running around the.
You got a grocery store named Chiefs? Racist.
Whoa, wait. So now, real quickly, are minks? Are they native to? They're not native to.
No.
Where are they? I don't know. I don't know about.
We just have a mink farm. Yeah, there's a mink farm on the edge of town.
Minks kill rabbits, rats, dude. They're gonna destroy that ecosystem.
That's what I was worrying about.
Minks are mean as shit.
They're kind of cute.
Are they worse than nutrias? Nutrias?
No, fuck nutrias. Fuck nutrias. They're disgusting. Also, have you ever seen the mink man?
No.
So like people in Utah, this dude has a bunch of minks. And if you look up on YouTube, the Mink Man, it's the places that are overrun with rats. And he puts his mink in there and they go kill 100 different rats. It's crazy. You have to watch it. Please watch it after this. Mink Man. Look it up on YouTube, please. You're going to be interested in it.
Please, man.
Okay.
Please, man.
Is that from a movie?
I think so.
Okay. So let's wrap it up with this.
No.
As we record today, we're about 3 weeks away from the February 9th trade deadline. Each of you give me a big name player you'd like to see moved into what team?
LeBron James. And
hashtag free LeBron.
You did try and start that hashtag, Channing. I saw that. Stop it.
I'm such a troll. I hate it.
Stop it.
If people take me so seriously, dude, I'm just dying laughing, half drunk, like just fucking.
LeBron James to the Warriors.
Bradley Beal to Dallas.
To Maccabi Tel Aviv. I want him to experience the playoffs.
With David Blatt.
Is that where David Blatt is?
He was, but I'm not sure if he's still. I know he was undergoing some health things. Okay, so wait, Bradley Beal to Dallas?
I think that'll be great.
I think he could be a good off the ball guy for
without a doubt. I think Golden State needs, like last year they had I don't know his real name, but I call him Balenciaga. What's his name?
We don't say that name.
No,
just kidding,
girl. Billy. What's his name? They need like Kelly Olynyk would be.
Bielitsa.
Yeah. Bielitsa. I always be like, hey man, I got Balenciaga over here. Yo, I never call him by his real name. Yo, Kelly Olynyk.
I kid you not, it took me having why we don't say the name. I'm like, why do we not say Valencia's name? Like it's like
oh yeah.
Okay. And two fathers over there.
Yeah, they're terrible.
Listen, we ain't doing that. Listen, come over here. Come get this strap. Click clack. Anyways, no, I'm sorry, my bad.
I know the meme.
And I do have one.
To come around here.
You have a strap?
Allie, you're a pervert.
How do you think he kills?
You're a pervert, Allison. A pervert. We're talking about a handgun, Allie. You little nasty.
Oh.
You little nasty. It's ridiculous. Our viewers don't
Okay.
deserve you and your perverted thoughts.
We gotta go.
They love it. They love it. Okay, so then you said Bradley Beal to Dallas. I like that one. Rich, what about you? It's not LeBron James. Just stop it.
It is.
It is.
What player? No, what player would I like to see? Shout out my guy Jay Crowder. I'd like my guy Jay Crowder to be playing basketball.
Yeah.
Boss man, like, I love you, bro. I've kept my opinions about what's going on because we haven't spoke, which I'm probably going to reach out. So, but what the fuck, man? I want my guy playing basketball because these money is a thing especially for players in our position, but also like time in your career you can never get back. Channing had to take time off from his career because of his heart, and that's a medical thing. But who doesn't look back on? I wonder what my numbers would look like. I wonder what I could have accomplished if I didn't have this break here. And for Jay, who could be helping a team, right? Who could be helping the Phoenix Suns, right? Because even then, I don't know what the contract situation was. I don't know what it was, but it's like, figure it out. Portland didn't offer Channing a qualifying offer. And he was like, all right, I'll take a minimum to Phoenix and go make this bank, show y'all, So that's the person that, I hope can get playing this season because I think he could help a lot of teams. And that might be why the asking price is too high. But now we're 40 games into a season and our guy's healthy and he doesn't get to play basketball. That shit sucks.
Lord marketing to the Clippers would be interesting.
Oh,
they need
wow.
a point guard. Clippers need a point guard. They don't need another.
They need a playmaker.
Conley and marketing for who?
Who do you want? You can have anybody but these two. Listen, anybody but three. I want Big Zoo back. No. BG and Kawhi. Anybody else have at it?
That's fair.
Anybody else have at it? For me, if you got Mike Conley,
he's a good center. He's a
great center. Great center. Just get your garbage pail. Yeah, you're good.
Remember when the Lakers had him?
And on
I
that
was
note,
there. And they gave him away for some lint and 2 buttons.
Stop it. Speaking of Kyle Korver, guys, we're going to end the podcast on this. Did you guys see the latest news with Kyle Korver?
Yeah,
and I only say speaking of because Channing, you said lint and 2 buttons when he was traded for a copy machine or something like that. One of the famous lines. We're going to end on this because Kyle Korver was a guest. He was a teammate of y'all's in 2017. Episode 9 and 10. It's so much fun. It's such a good listen. It's way back in the archives. But the Hawks, per Adrian Wojnarowski, here we are breaking news here with him, are finalizing a deal to make Kyle Korver an assistant GM.
What?
He spent the last several months as the franchise's director of player affairs and development. Obviously a 2015 All-Star with Atlanta. I love this for Kyle Korver.
Congratulations.
I love Kyle Korver.
Great.
Congrats.
Shout out to him. When I actually responded to that tweet, someone tweeted, Blaine Burnett tweeted back, way to be, in quotations, Kyle Korver.
Way to be!
As told by Channing Frye.
I forgot about that. Dude, that's so
Kyle.
Yeah, you in Atlanta all the time. Reach out to Kyle. Find out
maybe you take me to dinner.
Where he's going to trade Trae Young.
Oh, hey, I've been saying that. Listen, don't. Richard.
They're not trading.
I've been saying that. I tried to. But listen, I'm in there arguing with Hawks fans.
They need to get some vets around them.
How many vets are you going to get around him, Richard? You have DeJounte Murray, the team.
That's not a vet. No. I don't mean that type of vet. I mean the type of vet, a locker room vet. That's all. They need
locker room vets like the both of you.
Like James Jones. Like those.
How about would Trae Young be good in Miami? I think so.
Yeah,
him and Pat Riley, I think they would get along swimmingly.
Just hit it off.
I gotta do shoot around if I'm playing the game. I'm gonna go home. It's like no.
What about Toronto needs to make some moves? Trae Young in Toronto.
I'm not. They're not trading Trae Young.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm just gonna throw names out there.
We've got 3 weeks to discuss this, so continue to work on your thoughts and ideas.
Kyle Korver, anytime
You discuss your thoughts.
We're going to reference you and act like
discuss
you know things.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Appreciate you guys. It's another edition of Road Trippin'.